No. That one's empty. No. Woo! Not even this one. So that means I was sober for this episode. Huh. Interesting. Hello everyone and welcome back to my freak show. Let's talk AHS episode 9 for double feature. And this one was just... there was just too much. It was a good episode. However, there were so many time skips and so much crap to go through that it literally feels like I'm stepping through a maze full of landmines, having to maneuver my way to a cohesive storyline, you know? So let's go ahead and let's absolutely break down the episode and then we'll get into my thoughts if I haven't expressed them already. One thing I do want to note is that EJ Moreno and I are in the works with a video, guys. We are filming soon, and I cannot wait to show you guys that video. So please go check out EJ's channel as well. Hit subscribe and like and all that stuff, you know, of course, to make YouTube love us even more. And there will be a link to EJ's channel in my description box. With that out of the way, I want to say thank you so much to longtime viewer Debbie Ebby. As always, thank you so much for the support. I just thought it was hilarious at the fact that Ike was like, you know, we're giving up, you know, all these thousands of lives for technology and what is it all for? And when it flashes back to him actually signing the treaty, he really is having conflicting concerns about giving up American lives to these aliens. However, when it comes down to his wife, he ain't sharing her with nobody. It's like, okay, abduct 5,000 people every year, just let my wife live. You know, I mean, if I was Mamie Eisenhower, I'd have been like, fuck it, let him kill me. I'm totally fine with dying so that way all these thousands of people will survive. Tell them to, you know, take that treaty, stuff it up their, you know, whatever holes they have, and just go away. But this guy did not do it. He absolutely suckered in and signed the treaty. My husband and I made an agreement a long time ago. We love each other so much that we think of the other one, and I would gladly take a bullet for Blake and he would take one for me. We would never let another person use each other against one another. So we just, if the aliens ever came to Earth and took me and Blake and said, look, we're gonna kill your husband unless you sign a treaty with us, poor Blake would be screwed. But 3 years go by and the Americans have not heard anything from the aliens. I mean, that's really sus at that point. That's like the equivalency of going on a terrible date and waiting 3 years for them to call you back. At some point, you just have to understand, you need to give up. Nope, Ike doesn't do that, and all of a sudden, Cody Fern's character shows up, who is Valiant Thor. And I thought his character was really badass, even more better than how he played as Michael Langdon. And in fact, probably Valiant Thor should have been the mold for Michael Langdon instead of some whiny teenager. I mean, that's just me. You know, I'm logical. So Cody Fern is the liaison between the aliens and the humans, and I really like it that he comes and he brings them some technology, which is either an iPad or, you know, some sort of iPod. There's a whole lot of arguments regarding fans about exactly what it is, but I'll leave you guys to argue about it in the comments. Don't come after me. Valiant's sarcasm behind, you know, the peace and harmony of how that new technology is just gonna bring everybody together. That's a hilarious jab at current society. I thought that was hilarious to add in there. Mamie is fine and she's decorating for Halloween, and she actually calls Ike Mr. Man again, which she did in the previous episode, and I really loved that reference because at that point I was in the midst of watching Misery, and I thought that was such a great little Kathy Bates Mr. Man reference that they put in there for Mamie's character. Now, as you would expect, Ike is absolutely horrified when he discovers that the alien experimentation has been going on underneath the White House. And not to our surprise, Mamie is perfectly fine with it. And as a matter of fact, Mamie jumps on the alien O train, but more on that later. Mamie is comfortably happy with how everything is going, and she tells Ike that if he is so bothered by the experiments underneath his feet, just move the people somewhere else. So he does. I have to honestly say, too, that I really enjoyed how this first section, how it was black and white, and how it appealed to the older generation, such as myself, rather than the younger generation like AHS stories did. After Valiant gives Ike a little tour of what's been going on underneath the White House before they're sent off to Nevada, we see all of these little different types of fetuses that have actually been born and the babies that they are trying to make, and that it's just not going well for them, and that it's literally going to take a long time to get this right. But the very definition of idiocy is doing the same thing over and over and expecting the exact same results. So it makes me wonder, so far at this time where we are in the story, it's 3 years after the treaty has been made, 300 people have been taken, and they're doing the same thing again. So what are the aliens actually doing different to ensure that they're gonna get an actual, different alien the next time one is born? And that's where I think the black pill is going to come in. However, I'm really nervous that they're not going to tie it all into the season finale and just completely leave it ambiguous for us, the fans, to decide at the end of the season, when yet I don't want to do that. I want to know the answer. I want AHS to straight out tell me, fan, the black pill is related to the aliens. And if they don't do that, I'm going to be so sad. Even my little Ashy with his little ashy hand, he's going to be so sad too if he doesn't find out. Okay, so Eisenhower has signed the treaty. The aliens are going to go away. He is going to be finally in the White House with no problems except his wife. Except he hears once again through the air ducts something, goes to investigate and finds Valiant trying Mamie's fudge. And he loved it. He knew his way around her fudge as if he'd been eating fudge for centuries. It wasn't a dream, though. Ike really, honestly caught Valiant eating his wife's fudge. I mean, I guess, what do you expect? She offered him the fudge. I love fudge. I love fudge. I have a sweet tooth. I'm not gonna lie. Now we jump 5 years into the future, and Marilyn Monroe is going a little blabbermouthy regarding aliens and abduction in her latest film. Obviously, that can't happen. So it is insinuated that the men in black were the ones who came in and killed Marilyn and, made it look like a suicide. 1 more year goes by, and when I said before into the future, I meant after the treaty had been signed with the aliens. So 1 year later, after Marilyn is dead and Jack is replaced by Lyndon B. Johnson, they take him to meet Valiant and to see what the whole thing is about. So you get a sense that, okay, every president afterwards is going to be introduced and is going to be told about this, which I thought was very interesting. And we get Johnson's hilarious, reaction to seeing all of the little alien babies in these little formaldehyde tubes. That just ends the black and white section. And when we flash now to the current part of the storyline. The storyline picks up from the previous episode when it last ended. Todd's baby is trying to find a way to give life. And so they cut the baby open out of him, and that's when we see that he has this little connection to the baby. And please forgive me if I said his name wrong, if I said the wrong name at this point. I just don't have my notes in front of me. And he feels this connection to the baby that he's given birth to. And that's when they kill it. And, that was just like so insane. And my first thought was, oh my God, these people are monsters. But then my second thought was, oh my God, wait a minute. There's a reason why they kill these babies. And that will come up later. So Todd is very upset, and he is after he has recovered, he is taken back to be with his boyfriend and, of course, Jamie and Kendall. So they're reunited, and he tells them that he gave birth to his baby, he felt a connection, and they killed it, and it kind of stirs everybody, thinking, oh my God, this does not, this isn't a good thing. And of course they're talking about escaping away with their babies before they're born in this big community cafeteria where Calico and her big, 60s horror is still sitting. And Calico stands up and she's like, dude, I can hear you, but nix the whole thing about escaping because that ain't gonna happen. Come with me, let me show you my favorite place that I go to once, when I need a good pick-me-up. And Calico takes them to where Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing, where he filmed the fake moon landing. Okay, I'm not even done there. I'm not even done there. So just hang on to your little tinfoil hats there. Calico tells the four while they're sitting there on the set that she met Lance and Neil one night at a bar, and she bought them a whole bunch of drinks and used a whole bunch of charm to get them out to say, hey, we're filming the moon landing right now. Which, yeah, right, if they were actually filming the moon landing right now, they would have totally been sequestered by the government. There's no way they would have let them take a dump without somebody watching them do it. Let alone let them go out to a bar where they can talk to some hot blonde. No. No. Good try, AHS, but you missed the mark on that one. Then again, I still don't understand why this whole storyline is here, but okay, let's we bought the ticket, let's take the ride. Calico basically tells them at this point, look, just accept it. I have given birth to hundreds of babies. You get used to it. Deuces. And that's whenever everybody's like, whoa, this is really messed up. The foursome is like, as long as we have to do this, we're together. So that's a good thing. Sadly, though, the guys are like, no, this is not what we want. We're in love. We wanted an actual baby. And the boyfriend, who, I apologize, I just don't have my notes in front of me right now, his name escapes me, he's like, I don't want them to kill my baby. So that's when Todd tells him, okay, if you trust me, come with me. Which, so Terminator. Come with me if you want your baby to live. So Todd takes his boyfriend over to the moon landing set to help him give birth to his baby. Which, that is so unsanitary. That is a massive infection waiting to happen. Think better, people. He cuts open his boyfriend, pulls the baby out, opens up the little amniotic sac, and they rejoice over their beautiful little girl. And it is actually a beautiful little girl. Her eyes are a little bit bigger than normal. Obviously, you can tell that they are not natural. However, it's just a normal baby. And the two dads are just rejoicing over the fact that they're getting this moment. Until a little octopus tentacle comes right out of the little baby and just opens up and starts eating the dad. Because, of course, like I always told you guys, aliens are assholes. And that is how the episode ends. Is how I rate the episode this week. I don't even know if I can put that on a numerical factor, but if I could, let's just positively say that was a 7. Tell me what you guys rate this episode and what you think of it in the comments below. My thoughts after the episode was, holy shit, I overdosed on my medications. I think my husband should call 911. And then I realized, holy moly, that was an episode. Guys, Ryan and Brad love to fast forward, backwards, sideways, upwards, downwards, but usually before it made a lot more sense. It was like we were watching a show, and instead of a show, it was a puzzle that was being put together. Every single episode was a piece that would add to the puzzle to give us the bigger picture. And when we would flash backwards, forwards, that infamous up or down, whichever, it doesn't matter. It was always a piece that added to that puzzle to make the picture bigger and to give us more of a aha moment rather than a huh moment. And I got more huh than aha. It was just, so why? Why did we just why did we talk about the moon landing? Why talk about Lance and Neil telling Calico? Why did Ike say yes to the treaty to spare his wife when just a moment ago he was talking about not, risking one American life, and all of a sudden he just gives it all up because his wife's life is threatened? Why the moon landing? Why did JFK come back in this episode when he was already killed off in last week's episode? Why? Why bring up the moon landing? Why Calico's backstory now when next episode's the finale? Why even bring in the moon landing in the first place? It literally just makes no sense. It's almost as if they just took a whole bunch of shit, took a whole bunch of like meaty ingredients, like great characters, great storyline, the black pill, aliens, the government, and the sea, mixed it around in a big cooking pot and dumped in all of these conspiracies and extra characters as the seasonings and just heated that shit up and just served it right to us. I knew there had to be a great reason why they were terminating the babies. And at the end, that was something I absolutely liked. I'm not gonna lie. That was great. I liked it a lot, actually. And why, guys? Why? Why did we get Valiant eating Mamie's fudge? That was a scene that I didn't know that I wanted to watch, and now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. In fact, I think I am more strangely comfortable with that scene than the whole Ike was himself. I mean, to me, it didn't make sense of why we needed the fact to literally be known that Mamie and Ike had affairs on each other. As I've stated in my Halloween video, nothing at this point shocks me due to the fact that I basically read and watched everything. However, that shocked me. I wonder how Sarah Paulson and Cody Fern felt in that scene, and especially, in the character, because it just felt so out of place. It felt so out of place, though Mamie gave really good hints that that's what was going to happen. Though, again, I didn't understand she meant literally that he was going to eat her fudge. And he loved it. Again, this episode was just so fun. But even that ending could not save this episode from all of the flashes forward and backwards and the characters that were already gone. And again, it just didn't make sense to bring up the storyline again to progress the actual show. Don't get me wrong though, I had fun with it and I absolutely enjoyed just going with it. I actually think I had more fun making this review than I have in any, reviews in a long time, because this episode was just so crazy. So that's it, guys. That is my thoughts and my opinions about this episode below. Please let me know yours in the comments. Don't forget, y'all, of course, every single Wednesday I am live streaming, and I will be doing a bunch of live streams this Wednesday regarding the finale of AHS. I will be doing a pre-finale live stream, and then, of course, a special episode of Beyond the Horror afterwards. And don't forget, of course, that I have 2 special videos coming out, one on my channel and one on EJ Marino's channel. There is a link to his channel in the description. In my video, we're going to be talking about our predictions for the finale of Death Valley. And then on EJ's channel, we go into a little bit of life and love and AHS season 11, hallelujah, in his video. So absolutely go check out his channel, Please click the bell notification to be notified, so that way you guys can be notified when those videos are posted. And don't forget, of course, if you guys liked the video as much as I enjoyed making it, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you for tolerating Cookie barking through half of it. And I love you all. Beware of our girl, Sexy Scatfish. Beware of Sexy Scatfish. Now we drum oh, God, I'm never going to think of Mammy Eisenhower the same way again. I love fudge. I love fudge. I have a sweet tooth. I'm not going to lie. I'm confused now. Am I talking about fudge or am I talking about sex? Wonder who else liked her fudge.